after death. And we'll end on this chapter quickly, Ikhwan. We'll read this after death. Number 6, the statement of the Shia. A human being becomes najis, meaning impure after death, except those who are ma'soom. Those who are infallible, as they claim, the martyr, and the one who has been ordered to be killed, and he made a ghusl before it, and he was killed for that exact reason. So again, that's from the foolishness of the Shia. Number 7, removing the menstruating woman and the woman in a state of postnatal bleeding from the area of the deceased. Saying, okay, that he's deceased, you have to get out the house, or you have to get out the area. Has no basis. It's a bid'ah. Number 8, those who witness the deceased soul depart, taking off work until 7 days pass. That has no basis. Now, number 9, the belief of some that the soul of the deceased hovers around the place he died. Nah. And perhaps people here may believe that, because you find that in the, just in the cartoons and stuff like that. Just growing up, you find that person, they soul and they hover around the place and things like this, and this has no basis in the deen. This has no basis. Number 10, leaving a candle lit near the deceased the night that they die into the morning. Number 11, placing a green branch, meaning from a tree, in the room that he died in. Where did they get this from, Ikhwan? Who knows? Placing a green branch in the room that he died in. Huh? La. Allah knows best they get this, Ikhwan, because you find some people, we remember the hadith, when the Prophet ﷺ, he said about the two men, they're both being punished and they're not being punished in something regarding something that was hard for them to leave off, or something that was kabir. Rather, they are kabir. This person, he said, making the meme of the other person, did not used to guard himself from his bowl, his urine, right? And the Prophet said, he put some sticks or the like there near the grave, and he said, perhaps, this will lighten their punishment so long as they're not dry. And some people, they've taken that hadith, and they've gone to graves and things like this to try to do the same thing. The scholars say no. They said this is incorrect, because the Sahaba, they didn't do this after the Prophet ﷺ. They said that was specific for the Prophet ﷺ. Naam. And then on top of that, that's iddia ilm al-ghayb, because how do you know that person's being punished? So you're going to put this thing at the grave. That's su'adhan. You don't know that person being punished or not. We don't know. You understand? So, but perhaps this is where they get this from. Wallahu a'lam. That's what it seems, because the scholars, they speak about that in other places. Number 12, reading Quran in the presence of the deceased until he is washed. Reading the Quran in the presence of the deceased until he is washed. Number 13, clipping the nails of the deceased and shaving his pubic area. Imam Malik, he mentioned this as it comes in Al-Mudawwana. Imam Malik, he mentioned this, clipping the nails of the deceased and shaving his pubic area. And you find some mention this regarding in the books of Janaiz, but there's no adillah for this. That you clip the nails of the deceased and shave their pubic area. You can't look at the outer of the deceased. Placing cotton in the anus, throat, and the ears of the deceased. Shaykh Albani says regarding this, Ikhwan, there's certain exceptions. When there's circumstances that if a person fears that something will come out of the deceased and will appear on the kafan, he said, in rare conditions like this, you can do it. In rare conditions like this, you can do it. Now, today you find they put the bags and stuff like that. But even with that, Ikhwan, with the bags, it's something that, inshallah, we should ask. Because look what Sheikh Nasr, if you look at in the asl here, and I just thought about this, because in the asl, Sheikh Albani, he says, إلا في أحوال نادرة. If in rare circumstances, if there's some type of harm, or there's something you think that something's going to come out, that's going to come out and it's going to soil the kafan or bring najas in the kafan, then you can do it. But to do it every single time with the bags, Allahu alam. Because it's become a practice, but Allah knows best. It should be a question though. Now, people, they do it for ihtiyat, but a person could say, well, this could have occurred in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Did he do this? Did he do this all the time? Did he make this a habit? Like I said, it's a good question to ask. Wallahu alam. Number 15, placing dirt on the two eyes of the deceased and saying nothing fills the eye of the son of Adam except dirt. There's no basis. Number 16, that the family of the deceased abstain from eating until they finish burying him. likewise is a bid'ah. Number 17, making a habit to cry at times of lunch and dinner. Number 18, so people laugh. Some stuff is just, like I said, some stuff is just, Allah musta'an. Number 18, that a person rips the clothes due to the death of the father or the brother. And we took that in the book, that ripping the clothes is impermissible. Shaq al-juyub, that's from the ways of al-jahiliyyah. Now, number 19, to mourn over the deceased for a full year. Whereas the woman does not use henna, nor does she wear beautiful clothing or jewelry. And when this year is over, that they begin to write and engrave matters which are known habit amongst them, that they write among the women, from the things prohibited in the legislation. And they do this along with those who observe this mourning period with them. And they call this, when they do this, they call this the release of grief. Fakk al-huzn. That has no basis. Now, and Sheikh Albani clarified what is sunnah regarding the woman when, for example, her husband dies or the like. Number 20, some men growing their beards out of mourning over the deceased. And Sheikh Albani, likewise, he addressed this. Now, they mourn over the deceased, grow their beard. When the mourning period is over, they shave their beard again. That's the fa'idah. What's the benefit behind that? There's no benefit. And rather, it's a bid'ah. Now, number 21, flipping over the rugs and carpets and covering mirrors and chandeliers within the home. A person flips over the rugs and carpets and covering mirrors and chandeliers in the home, that has no basis. Number 22, leaving off using water in the house that was stored in a pitcher or other than that, thinking that water to be impure. And the reason they give is that when the soul of the deceased comes out, it immersed in that water. Where did they get this from? Again, nothing is not based upon any text or anything else. Right? It's just speaking about the ghaib without any ilm. Number 23, that if one sneezes over some food, and they say to this person that sneezes over the food, hurry, speak with so-and-so. And they name those who's alive, or those alive whom that person loves. And the reason they give behind this is so the person won't be لا يلحق الميت. Even the last sentence should be changed. The reason they give is so the person won't be the next to die. Naam, Wallahu alam. Number 24, leaving off eating soup and fish during the mourning period. These are some dishes that Sheikh Albani specifically mentioned that are known in Sham. They're in Syria, Mulukhiyah or the like. They leave off eating these matters during that mourning period, during the period of mourning. Number 25, leaving off eating meat, grilled pluck, and Syrian meatballs. Again, these are delicacies known there in Syria. Sheikh Albani lived there in Syria. So he's mentioning some of the foods that he's mentioning some of the things which he saw from the people in his country, or the country where he lived at. The statement of the Sufiya, whoever cries over the deceased, then they depart from the path of the people of al-ma'arif, with hidden knowledge. Now, the statements of Sunnah, and Ibn Jawzi brings this in Talbis Iblis, his book. The deceptions of the devil. Number 27, not washing the clothes of the deceased until the third day, claiming that this repels from him the punishment of the grave. Number 28, the statement of some, whoever dies on the evening or the day of Friday will only be punished in the grave for 1 hour, then his punishment will cease and will not come back into the day of resurrection. This was mentioned by Sheikh Ali Qadi, and he refuted this. Number 29, the statement of others, the punishment of the grave will be lifted from the disbeliever on Jum'ah and in Ramadan out of respect for the Prophet ﷺ. And this, of course, this is from their statements of ghulu, which doesn't have any dalil. It's interesting, Ikhwan, in the book, though, in the Talkhis it has, this is for 29, but 29 in the original, it says, and maybe Sheikh Albani, this slipped him putting it here, but in here he mentions قول آخر المؤمن العاصي ينقطع عنه عذاب القبر يوم الجمعة وليلة الجمعة ولا يعود إليه إلى يوم القيامة. The sinful Muslim, the punishment is cut off from him. The punishment of the grave is cut off from him on the night and the day of Jum'ah, and that will not come back until Yawm al-Qiyamah. That's mentioned in the original version. So perhaps Shaykh al-Albani wanted to mention it here, and it slipped him.
So should that be believer instead of disbeliever?
This is what he mentioned in the summarized version. It says disbeliever. Naam. It says disbeliever. Naam. But here it says the mu'min al-asi. So it's two different things. Naam. And number 30, announcing the death of the deceased from over the pulpits. We spoke about the matter of na'i al-mayyit, announcing the death and how that should occur. But announcing the death of the deceased over the pulpits, then la. And the last one, we'll close on this, the saying of some of them when they are informed about someone's death, let us recite the Fatiha over the ruh, the soul of so-and-so. Likewise is a bid'ah.